Imagine waking up before sunrise, every single day, for 40 years. You work overtime, you skip vacations, you miss birthdays, you sacrifice your health, because you believe one thing. One day, my family will finally have the life they deserve. But what if, after giving your entire life to work, your family is left with almost nothing? This is the heartbreaking story of John Miller. And sadly, it's a story millions of Americans can relate to. John Miller wasn't famous. He wasn't rich. He wasn't the CEO of a Fortune 500 company.
He was just an ordinary American, a hardworking husband, a loving father, and the kind of employee every company wanted. For nearly 4 decades, John worked at the same manufacturing plant in Ohio. He rarely took sick days. He never argued with management. Whenever overtime became available, John was always the first to volunteer. His coworkers often joked, if John isn't here, something must be seriously wrong. Everyone respected him, but no one truly knew what his life looked like after he clocked out. Every evening, John drove home to a modest house. His wife, Mary, stretched every dollar they earned. Coupons, discount stores, secondhand clothes, nothing went to waste. Their children never complained. They understood their parents were doing everything they could. Every month was the same. Paycheck, bills, groceries, gas, insurance. Then, almost nothing remained. Still, John smiled. Whenever his children apologized for asking for something expensive, he would say, "Don't worry, Dad's got it," even when he really didn't. Years turned into decades. Friends retired. Some started businesses. Others invested their savings. John never had time to think about any of that. He believed loyalty would eventually be rewarded. He trusted the system, and he believed hard work alone was enough. After all, that's what he had been taught his entire life. Work hard. Stay honest. Everything else will take care of itself. Finally, after 40 years, retirement day arrived. The company organized a small farewell ceremony. His manager thanked him for his dedication. Coworkers applauded. Someone handed him a plaque that read, "Thank you for 40 years of loyal service." There was cake, a few laughs, a group photo. John smiled proudly. For the first time in decades, he felt like life was finally about to begin. He dreamed about fishing, traveling with Mary, watching his future grandchildren grow up. Everything he had postponed could finally happen. Or so he thought. Only 6 months after retiring, John woke up one morning with severe chest pain. The ambulance arrived quickly. Doctors did everything they could. But years of stress, long hours, and ignoring his own health had taken their toll. John passed away that afternoon. He was 63 years old. The retirement he had waited 40 years for lasted less than half a year. His family was devastated, but another painful surprise was waiting. When had taken their toll, John passed away that afternoon. He was 63 years old. The retirement he had waited 40 years for lasted less than half a year. His family was devastated, but another painful surprise was waiting. When Mary reviewed their finances, reality hit even harder. There wasn't much savings. Medical expenses had consumed thousands of dollars. Inflation had quietly eaten away at their purchasing power. The mortgage wasn't fully paid. Credit card balances remained. Retirement income wasn't enough. Within months, Mary had to find work again, at an age when she expected to slow down.
She was forced to start over. Their children helped however they could. But everyone wondered the same thing. How could a man who worked his entire life leave so little behind? The answer wasn't laziness. It wasn't bad intentions. John had done everything society told him to do. Work hard. Be loyal. Provide for your family. But no one ever taught him another important lesson. Working for money is different from making money work for you. John earned an income, but he never built wealth. He never learned about investing, emergency funds, passive income, or long-term financial planning. His paycheck stopped, and so did his financial security.
Today, millions of hardworking Americans are walking the exact same path. They leave home before sunrise, come back after dark, miss precious moments with their families, and believe that someday everything will magically work out. Sometimes it does, but sometimes life has other plans. A medical emergency, a job loss, a recession, or simply time running out. John's story isn't meant to discourage hard work. Hard work is honorable. It builds character. It feeds families. But hard work alone isn't always enough. Saving matters. Investing matters. Planning for the future matters. Because your family shouldn't lose everything.
Just because you're no longer there. So tonight, ask yourself one simple question. If something happened to you tomorrow, would your family be financially secure, or would they have to start over? That's a difficult question, but it's one worth answering today, not 40 years from now. Because the greatest gift you can leave your family isn't just memories, it's security, it's peace of mind, and a future they don't have to fear. If John's story moved you, share it with someone you care about. It might just change the way they think about work, life, and what truly matters. The end.